Is this thing working yet? Should be. I didn't get the message usually that I get in the bottom right corner, or I must have ignored it. I'm looking here to see if the stream is actually running. It should show up on this monitor over here. Good morning. It's July 21st, 2022, 9 a.m. in California. And it is a Thursday. And I'm waiting here to see that. Oh, I guess I need to refresh the screen. Maybe it'll come up then. Yeah, that looks like it's coming live. And it's about to start talking to me, I think. Are you there? Are you there? Ken says it's running like Forrest Gump. But I still, there it goes. Forrest Gump. Ah, there we go. And mute it. So what we have today is title Windows Daily 19 Autoruns from Sysinternals Sledgehammer Method. What in the world do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. But first, go take a look at the Microsoft Word document, and I know we're not going to spend much time there because there's nothing there. Whoops, that's not the right one. Let's go over here. From yesterday's Windows Daily number 18, Autoruns from Sysinternals Virus Total. There were no technical comments from chat or from comments on the video or from email, so nothing to talk about there. I do want to point out that I do enjoy the chats, the hellos back and forth and hi, how are you, and all of that come into the live stream chat. I'm not responding to them during these videos because I'm trying to keep them smaller and trying to keep a little bit more appeal to the people who are not interested in participating in the community. But I like to see that stuff, and also the comments on the videos that are not necessarily a technical question. I like seeing them because it lets me know there are people there that are watching and care. If there was nothing there, I would feel really, really lonely and question whether these videos are worthwhile. I think they are, but your comments in chat and comments on the video help me acknowledge or comfort me that there are people watching and that like them. Okay, so Autoruns from Sysinternals Sledgehammer Method. We're going to do this today on Baby Beast. I'm going to close down the browser windows that I have open on Baby Beast and then go punch over to Baby Beast. That's not Baby Beast. There it is. Down here on the taskbar, I have the File Explorer pinned. And just this morning, I realized I need to pin Sysinternals because I keep going back to that folder. Instead of opening File Explorer and maneuvering through the folders, it will eventually, after Windows realize it's frequent, see the word frequent right there, it'll show up down in this list. And then I just click on this thumbnail. Let's say I'll thumbnail Ken Stout, and that puts it up here. So that is now pinned to the File Explorer right-click menu so that it's easy to get to. So I'm going to Sysinternals folder and then Autoruns, and I'm going to demonstrate again double-clicking on Autoruns 64 without right-clicking and choosing Run as admin. Now, why would you want to do Autoruns instead of Autoruns 64? Well, that's if you have a 32-bit computer. Remember when Sysinternals first was created, I think it was created before 64-bit computers were even a thing. So then 64-bit computers came around, and Mark Rusinovich and his partner had, I'm presuming back then they probably did an upgrade to come up with Autoruns 64, so that if you had a 64-bit computer, if you were a really rich person and spending way too much money on a computer and getting 64-bit, you could you run Autoruns 64. Well, now that's about all we have these days. Everybody's using 64-bit computers. We haven't had 32-bit computers for a while. You still can install a 32-bit version of Windows 10 on a 64-bit computer, and I have done that for a client who needed it because of their software requirements. So here's Autoruns open. What I'm going to do with the Sledgehammer method, let's suppose you're troubleshooting a problem on your computer. Perhaps something like, oh, I don't know, Windows Update's not working. But no, Ken, I don't want you to do this just yet. But We may be going here. So if you've got something that's not working right on your computer, you want to troubleshoot it. What can you do with Autoruns to deal with that? No, I don't want to talk to you, spammer. Okay. What are you going to do with Autoruns? You're going to go here and pick and choose and try to figure out which one. Well, I want to try a Sledgehammer method. Now, let me give a disclaimer here. I have never tried this. I had it in mind that I might test this before doing it during a live stream, but I didn't get around to doing that. So then this morning, I realized, oh, I haven't tested that. Well, you know what? I'm just going to do it on live stream and let the chips fall where they may. I'm going to use a Sledgehammer method here by removing all of these check marks and restarting the computer, and then testing for whatever the symptom is that I'm troubleshooting for, which I'm not troubleshooting for a symptom at all. Now, before doing this, I'm gonna take some steps, and this is what I would advise anybody to do. By default, I believe the check marks on this options menu are going to look like this, where it's hiding empty locations and hiding Windows entries. Before doing this technique, I want to also hide Microsoft entries so that there are no items here showing that are Microsoft entries or Windows entries. So I want both to hide Windows entries and hide Microsoft entries. Hide empty locations. Yeah, that's kind of a little bit not too important for this case. What I'm about to do is remove all of those check marks and restart the computer and see if it restarts reasonably. And we're gonna look through these a little bit as I go through the check marks, just to kind of point out what they are. But I'm gonna hit the mute button for a moment here. Okay, more better. Taking a quick look at chat, and okay, so I'm seeing people saying their text is a little blurry. Go to the gear icon and see if you can increase the quality. I see that my computer defaulted to 144p. You go down to that gear icon and choose a higher quality, you should find it better. By the way, I'm going to mention here to both Ken Stout and Dennis Thompson, when I do this on your computers, I'm seeing 1080p 60, which means 60 frames per second. I think you're both broadcasting at 60 frames per second, which is making your computer work harder than it needs to. So then let's that finish there. So now let's go look at this. I'm going to look over here at Baby Beast because it's going to be on a bigger screen. That's too small for me to look at it through XSplit. So I'm going to peer over here like I'm looking towards the screen that I'm pointing to. Epic Games Launcher, that's the Fortnite game launcher. I'm going to remove that. Here's a Macrium Reflect item. Now notice when I took that check mark off of Epic Games Launcher, it went off without popping up this window. Well, that was in the Hive key current user. I'm allowed to remove a check mark for me because I am the current user. But when I come down to this section and try to remove a check mark, I got this pop-up window because that's for Hive key local machine, and removing this check mark would apply to everybody that uses this machine. Yeah, there's no other people that use this machine, but Windows doesn't know this. And I do actually have other user accounts on here. But regardless of that, you'll get this message if you haven't run Autoruns as administrator. So this gives me the option right here to run it as administrator, or I could have right-clicked when I went to launch it and chose run as administrator, or I could come up here to the file menu and choose run as administrator. Any of those would be fine. And then click yes to the user account control, and the screen repopulates. So now I can remove this check mark. I know I can remove Macrium Reflect. I recognize Stream Deck. Now here's CMD for command prompt. And what this Hive key local machine says is that this is for safe boot alternate shell. So it's if you boot in safe mode and you want to get a DOS prompt shell, this check mark needs to be there. Now, I really doubt that that would be causing any problem on a computer. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that one there. Google Chrome, you know what? Google Chrome could be causing a problem on a computer, right? So I'm going to unselect that. Now, if you're having a problem with your Google Chrome browser, Now, I'm not so sure you should be removing those check marks, because are you even going to be able to run it? I don't know, but we're going to find out, because I'll try to remember to launch Google Chrome after it restarts. Sun Java, I'm going to take that off. Teams Machine Uninstaller. Now, because I've hidden all of the Windows items and what was the other one called? Microsoft entries. Yeah, I should be able to remove all of these check marks, but I haven't proven that. I haven't tested that. I'm going to prove it today. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and remove that command prompt too. And then 7-zip and reflect and WinMerge. Now, there's a lot of things here, and the screen's going to scroll down. This 7-zip and WinMerge repeats over and over here. They're shown in pink just because they're not verified. Their signature's not verified. And I'll just keep going down. And you know what? It occurs to me that I think there's a way to have it double check that. Failed to disable LibreOffice Custom Handler. So I can't disable that one. Okay, that's good. That's understood. Now, LibreOffice is a Microsoft Office work-alike package. I don't need it. I don't care about it. If I really want to get rid of that, my next step would be to uninstall LibreOffice. In fact, I'm not even sure that it's installed, but I'm going to find out. I did Windows key R, appwiz.cpl, and press enter. And let it come up. Let's see, LibreOffice. Is it here? Yes, it is there. So I would uninstall it if I really want to get rid of that. Remove the check marks for Java stuff. Here's some Adobe stuff and some Google Update stuff. Opera, which is another browser that this computer does have. And some Adobe stuff. Asus, BE, Easy Anti-Cheat. That's related to Fortnite. Now, I'm not intending to remove all these check marks and then continue using the computer this way. I'm just saying that this is a method for troubleshooting. If you're trying to resolve a problem, just stop all this stuff from loading in the background. Also, what you're going to find is all your little icon, a whole bunch of your icons down here in the notification area, bottom right corner of the screen, are no longer going to be there while you have those things unselected. And you may find some software that you need and care about don't work when you have these unselected. Again, it's just a troubleshooting exercise. When I first contemplated removing all of these check marks during a live stream, I thought, wait a minute, there's some things there that I think may be needed. But then as I did look through this list already, I realized, you know what? I think the ones that are really needed are all covered by the Windows and the Microsoft items. Now, what if I'm wrong? I told you I'm testing this live. I have never done this before. Well, I have a recent full image backup. And I would highly recommend anytime you're troubleshooting a problem, even if you're not about to do a sledgehammer technique, you should make a full image backup before you start doing any of your troubleshooting. Because by doing that, you can start taking strong actions at trying to track down where the problem is. You can do a massive amount of changes. Now, one of the points that's made in troubleshooting is that you should only do one change at a time so you know what fixed it. Well, that can take a really long time. So how about making a full image backup, make a massive amount of changes, and see if you fixed the problem. If you haven't, you just cleared a whole bunch of rooms. Now, what I mean by cleared a whole bunch of rooms, SWAT team goes into a building looking for the bad guy, and they search rooms and they call out clear. When that room's clear, meaning this room is not the problem. So when you're trying to find what the problem is, if you do a massive amount of changes, and the problem still exists, then you know none of those items were the problem, and you saved yourself a boatload of time by using a heavy-handed sledgehammer technique. So going back to these check marks, this one I can't disable, and that's an Adobe Type Manager. If I suspected that Adobe might be the problem and that I can't unselect that, well, I could go uninstall Adobe Acrobat Reader because it's free. I could reinstall it later. Now, if you have the paid version, you want to make sure that you have your account credentials so that you can reinstall it. And then we got some here. These are TechSmith. So if you don't recognize in this left-hand column what it is, look in the right column or the other columns. TechSmith. I know that is What's the name of that? It's another screen recording program that I have. I don't remember what it's called. Somebody's probably going to put it into chat, but I'll remember it after I finish the live stream. That's just the way it always goes, right? So these audio decoders and plush source, whatever that is, can look over here to see a little bit more. Those are actually in the Windows folders. Now here I'm in a registry key for Hive Key local machine software, and this doesn't give me any clue what software this might be related to. But because we have decoder and video, it sounds like it's probably needed in order to support video software that I'm working with. But again, we're looking at what I'm proposing here is a sledgehammer, heavy-handed method of trying to troubleshoot a problem you're having. So I'm not going to pick and choose these very close. Now, if the computer fails to restart, or if it just operates so badly that I wind up restoring the image that I have, then I'll be a little more careful about these, and I'll probably be reporting on that in, I don't know, perhaps tomorrow's Windows Daily episode. Again, I've never tried this before. I've thought of it before, and then I thought, well, I think this would be an interesting, perhaps entertaining live stream video. Now, these I can't unselect because those all say file not found. So you can't unselect what's not there. All right. Yeah, it was BH Ringer. It was Camtasia. It was the TechSmith off software. PDF reader, and it's not letting me do that. So if I suspected that's a problem, I would uninstall Qt PDF reader. I only have it here because a client of mine needed it for his computers, and so I installed it on mine to kind of check it out and get familiarized with it. I don't need to keep it. There's iCloud, TeamViewer, Camtasia, and iCloud. There we go. It was going to remind me of the word Camtasia right there. So there, I've unselected all of those, and I don't see anybody in the chat room yelling and screaming out, "No, don't do this, don't do this." And I don't see anybody saying that they have tried it before. I hope the screen blurriness has gotten fixed. I did see, yeah, Zavi says the display is already in HD, but I don't know if he was having the blurriness. So what those items were, and actually you being able to read them on the screen, was not important to this exercise. So here I'm going to close Autoruns and then restart Baby Beast, and we'll leave that on screen. You're not going to be able to see the BIOS portion of this restart, but that's okay for our purposes here. So now, here's the thumb twiddling thing again while I'm trying to fill up the dead air time, because similarly as the Ken Stout live show, the host, me in this case, has an aversion to dead air time. I suppose I could look a little more at the chat room. That's unusual. Well, there's not a whole lot of other comments here. BH Ringer says, Sledgehammer, you're going to spin a Peter Gabriel tune. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't... A Macrium backup is in progress? No. I don't need that one, because I have one from yesterday. Oh, you know what? I think I have that scheduled to run at 9 a.m. That's not a good time for me to have a Macrium Reflect backup running. I don't care that one probably just got damaged, because I have a full image backup from yesterday. Gonna spin a Peter Gabriel tune. You're giving me way too much credit for knowing music. Nope, I have no idea who that is. Display, Camtasia, then Dennis. By the way, the text is still not HD, let alone FHD. My YouTube started 1080p with this stream. Oh, okay, so I don't know what's going on there. I see it full HD. It looks clear when I'm looking at the YouTube live stream off of my channel. Does anyone else still having blurriness? He says because he has nothing else to say while he's waiting. It says Republic of Gamers on the BIOS splash screen. We're at 19 minutes, and basically all I'm looking at here is for it to come up to the Windows desktop, and then I'm going to try launching Google Chrome and see if I can do that. There's Kenny Whitten and Ken Stout having a conversation back and forth. And it is just about to come live in 3, 2, 1.5, 1.25, 1.20, 1.1, 1.09, 1.08, 1.075, 1.07. Oh, come on. It might have a problem with this, right? You know what I can do? Since this might fail to restart, let's show the keyboard camera. There it is. Now you saw the Republic of Gamers really briefly. And is it going to boot? Or do I have more? Republic of Gamers, it looks like it's restarting again. This does not look good. Oh, look at there. PC recovery. Your PC could not start properly. So this is going to get more deep. I don't really need to fix that blue screen. I can just do the recovery and then go back and take a more cautious approach at Autoruns. I was wanting to find out if this is valid. Can you do this? Your PC could not start properly. We got a 0F code. You'll need to use recovery tools. No, I don't, silly goose. I can use Macroom Reflect and restore it. If you don't have any installation media, contact your PC administrator. I don't know who my administrator is. Press Enter to try again. F1 recovery environment. F8 for startup settings. Escape for UEFI for more settings. I don't care to do any of that because I know exactly why it's not starting. I'm just going to do a restore after I finish the live stream, and then I'll be reporting on that tomorrow. Oh, it looks like it's trying again. It's not going to work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'll bring up the chat room on screen just to document who is here. Oh, I didn't call for you. And get the right mouse. Make chat bigger, and thank you everybody who showed up and said hello. And yeah, I did hear, Dennis, that the president has tested positive for COVID-19. So it looks like that's the end of today's live stream. I hope that was useful, entertaining, useful in the sense of don't go into that house. Every room is occupied by bad guys at the moment. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.